exciting. I want to tell you that electricity has been going through this building. Mrs. Garvey is a nervous wreck. The other teachers are also nervous. This class has practiced and done so much work with this. It brought me to tears about halfway through this morning when I saw it. It was one of those emotional kind of things. What I want to ask you first is that we turn off our cell phones. We know many of you have a phone, but please put it on vibrate. That once you are in your seat, you stay in your seat. It's a short show. You don't want to miss a bit of history of Laurel Springs. We want you to sit back comfortably. Try to refrain from you will notice our sound system has improved, but it's not the best. So it picks up, when you wiggle the chairs, it kind of picks up, and you get a little reverberation. So we're asking everybody, I want to tell you that the K through 6th grade sat through this show this morning. They were angels. They did not move. There was a little girl here with glowing shoes, and I made the announcement that if you had glowing shoes on, please keep them still because it's going to distract the students. That little girl did not move for 30 minutes. She froze. She sat there. They were just a great group of kids. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to our lovely Mrs. Garvey, who, when you see this, you are going to be like in awe. Two 6th grade teachers, Mrs. McLaughlin, who is the lead of our percussion group here. We have Mrs. Iannata, who is backstage maintaining control. I also want to thank, I don't know who's messing with the lights, but I wasn't prepared for that. I want to thank our lovely Mrs. Sparks and Mrs. Garrett, who are back there also doing crowd control. And Mrs. Garvey has a little spiel she would like to say. So I would like to introduce our percussion group. Our percussion group, Kane Pipitone, Casey Bocage, Lydia Herdman, and we have two young gentlemen, Taylor Swan and Joey de Blasio, who are doing a phenomenal job moving and messing with the microphone, but that's all. All right, so without further ado, you sit back. Mrs. Garvey.
Hello. Good evening, and thank you for coming out to our sixth grade performance. We have worked so hard this year. Myself, Mrs. McLaughlin, Mrs. Iannata, getting ready for this play. It was brought to our attention earlier this year that it was the Centennial of Laurel Springs, and did we want to do a play? This is a very theatrical group, so it was really a no-brainer. Yes, they wanted to do one, but we didn't know where to begin or how to begin. Where could we get information? So we were lucky enough to have Mr. Zimmerman from the town. I don't know if he's this historian, but he certainly should be. He talked to the students, he let them ask questions, he told them a lot about how the town started and the people that were involved with getting the town started. He provided lots of information and videotapes of people that have lived in the town for many, many years. So we used that in order to write the play that you're going to see tonight. And that was really a project as well. The students learned so much from writing a play because it's just not about writing a paper. You know, you need to write dialogue and you need to develop characters and you need to put a little humor in there. So it's been a process and it's been a journey and they've learned so much. And to see where it is today was really the first time I could sit back and enjoy it. And where we were in the beginning is phenomenal. So I do want to thank, when this curtain opens, Mrs. Lorenzi, Kristen and Pam Lorenzi, can you please stand up? Please stand up. Will be amazed. This is all they're doing this day, and it is it just blows me away, and it will you as well. They spent many hours of their own time creating these paintings, and each one is a painting of the historical buildings in our town. So thank you so much. You made my life a little easier. It's less than I could never have created something like this in a million years, so I really appreciate that. Mr. Brown and Mrs. Straubs and Mrs. Nicoludis, who spent a day painting with us, so appreciative of that. That saved us a lot of time as well. Costumes, Mrs. Straubs was constantly texting me saying, I found this hat, I found this dress, I found this shawl. And so that was great. Half of the costumes that you're going to see on the kids were donated by her. So there's just so many people involved. It really does take a village, and I just want to make sure that I thank everyone. I hope I thanked everyone. So I want to get started. I know we're on a time limit. Sit back and enjoy the performance of Laurel Springs, A Great Place to Live.
Centennial celebration of Laurel Springs. This is an important year for our town, so we decided to do something special to celebrate this event.
We've decided to research for less than 100 years or so and write a play showing how our town came to be and some of its memorable moments.
In groups, we brainstormed topics and decided to write about 7 moments in history that made Laurel Springs what it is today.
These topics included the beginning of the railroad, the resort at Crystal Springs, Samuel Cord, the developer, our new school, downtown Laurel Springs, holding fort the firehouse, and nobody does mischief night like Laurel Springs.
We have put all of this together and created the production you're about to see tonight.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy Laurel Springs, the great place to live.
are coming in from Philadelphia today. We're to spend the day picnicking and swimming in Laurel Lake. They just love the lake.
Let's go for tickets! Tickets! Did we miss it? Did we miss the train?
No, boys, calm down. You still have time to get your tickets.
Okay, good. I don't want to be late for a day at Clementon Park. You still have your train fare, right, Dumfrey? My train fare? Oh, darn it. It must have been in my pocket when we were running down Thomason Ave.
And why in the world were you boys running down Thomason Ave?
Oh, that mean Mr. Booker's dog chased us all the way down here. I nearly wore the soles of my shoes out.
Here, Godfrey. I have 7 cents you can borrow. You can work it off in my yard next week. I wouldn't want you to miss the train.
Why, thank you, Miss Stephanie. I sure appreciate that. I'll make sure to be there on Monday.
Now run along and get your tickets before it's too late.
Sure thing. Thanks, Miss Stephanie.
Oh, Stella boys, I'm sure glad they built this railroad. Oh, what I would do to the city to see my family. It's just been a saving grace.
Yup, not to mention, the Boardwalk Flyer just made history by traveling 55 miles an hour between Camden and Atlantic City in less than 50 minutes. Now that's fast.
And it brings folks from all over here to meet each other. Well, I've been told it's one of the finest stations in the county.
Yup, well this railroad has turned this location into a town. Why, people come from all over. I really enjoy going back and forth to the beach.
Incoming train! Stand back for tracks!
Here comes the train now. I'm so excited to see my sister.
This is our train, dear.
Let's get going. We wouldn't want to miss it.
Let me help you, Mrs. Walton.
Thank you, dear. What a fine man.
Enjoy your day.
Good day to you.
Oh my, how are you, sister? How was your trip?
Just wonderful. Why, the countryside view was splendid.
Come, I have a glorious picnic lunch waiting just for us down by the swimming hole.
Oh my, doesn't that sound like fun, Daniel? Yes, it does. And the 4 o'clock train for Philadelphia leaves this afternoon. Let's get started.
Is that Laurel Lake? I don't remember that boathouse.
Yes, Anna, it is. I spent a portion of my time here, from 1876 to 1884. My friend, Harry Stafford and his wife. He converted one of his farm buildings to a summer home for me. Oak I was worried riding down on the lake in the morning.
Mr. Whitman, is that where you wrote Leave the Grass and Specimen Days?
Yes, I did. To me, Laurel Lake was the prettiest lake. There you are, and truly inspiring me. Never before did I get so close to nature. Never before did it get so close to me.
Crystal Springs, the place to stay. You can come and stay all day. Rent a boat, sail away. Join us here, relax today.
Robert, be a dear and go check us in. Mrs. Hazard is expecting us. I want to go take a stroll down by the lake after our long train ride. I'll come back in a bit to unpack.
That's fine, dear. I'll check in and have them take our bags up to the room. Hello, and welcome to the Lakeview Inn. May I help you? Why, yes. My wife and I are checking in. Mr. and Mrs. Hoover? Why, yes. I have your name right here. That will be $5 for the week. Can you take our bags up to the room? I'd like to join my wife down by the lake. Of course. Your room is on the 2nd floor, number 3. Here's your key, and enjoy your stay, Mr. Hoover. Thank you.
Wow, what a great day to be on the lake. The water is crystal clear.
Did you see the kid at the swimming hole? Let's get our suits on and head on over there to take a dip. Speaking of the swimming hole, I heard there will be some races today. You might want to get changed quick. Really?
Races? Maybe they even swim for the Tarzan ropes. Come on, let's go.
Buford. What are you doing, Elizabeth? I'm bottling some clear crystal spring water for my mother. She has been ill for quite some time, and I've heard Crystal Springs has long been celebrated for its medicinal qualities and purity. It's worth a try.
That's a splendid idea. Your mother will appreciate that. Now let's head back to the inn and change out of our traveling clothes.
Perfect. Would you like to go to Laurel Springs Country Club for dinner?
That's wonderful, and a sunset boat ride sounds nice too.
What are they doing? That looks like the center town.
Why, it is Santa, and that is Samuel Porter, the most notable developer of Laurel Springs. Published his own newspaper, and get a ticket, read passage on the railroad, encourage buyers to look at it, real estate value. Let's see what we can learn about Mr. Porter.
Laurel Springs, the place to live, because Sam Ford would never voice. He's our founder.
We're going to have a crowd today, folks. People are going to rave over our free train tickets. You had the land surveys and lots, my friend?
Yes, sir. I checked it myself.
I want a slogan. Laurel Springs, place to live. Hang high above the store tops, Elle.
I already did, Mr. Cord, and just in time. I think the train's arriving.
Hello, and welcome to Laurel Springs. My name is Samuel Cord. You've been lucky enough to spend a day in a unique place with its rolling laurels along the lake and its clear springs. This is the perfect place to raise a family.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Cord. My name is Mr. Benson, Robert Benson, and this is my wife, Sarah. It sure looks wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit about the land plots for sale? My wife and I are looking for a new location to settle down and raise our family.
Oh yes, we have plenty of plots of land for you two to choose from.
We sure do. We could build you a Georgian-style home with 8 rooms and a wraparound porch.
A front porch? Oh, Robert, that sounds wonderful.
Sounds fair. Sounds fair. Are you a negotiator, Mr. Cord? Oh, Mr. Cord, who lives on that grand mansion up on the hill?
That would be my home. My construction crew is still working on it, but it's coming together nicely.
I'll say it's just beautiful. And what a showplace for the community.
Is this your first visit to Laurel Springs, Mr. and Mrs. Benson?
Yes, it is. We've heard so much about this town and wanted to come here ourselves to see it be a great place to settle down.
Well, you've come to the right place. Laurel Springs is a wonderful place to live. Magnificent view of the surrounding county.
Well, why don't we get started and look at some plots that might fit your needs? Our lots are 50 by 150 and just $300 cash and $20 monthly. Isn't that a deal? Sounds fair. Are you a negotiator, Mr. Ford?
I sure am. Come with me and let's make a deal.
This place feels right, dear.
Yes, you're right. Laurel Springs, a great place to live.
The girl was a sight from the old George homestead. It opened in the early 1920s.
It looks much smaller than it does today.
That's because they expanded the school several times to accommodate the growing town. I believe this is your day. This is the day your school opens. Let's listen to the ceremony.
Laurel Springs, the place to learn. Pack supplies, education you'll learn.
What a proud day for Laurel Springs. A brand new school for the children is such a delight for the community. Even being led with Warren on, we still have its fine
celebrate a brand new school for our children. Peter Parker and his crew did a fine job, did he not? I would now like to turn this over to our home and school president, Mrs. Watkins. She will share some of the wonderful features of our school.
Why, thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for coming. The Home and School Association is so pleased to have such a wonderful school in our community. What a delight for the children. This new school has 3 stories with 4 rooms on the 2nd and 3rd level. The boys' entrance is on the far right and the girls right here behind me.
Oh, Mother, can we go in yet? Shh, not yet, sweetie.
I know everyone is anxious to see the new school. We take great pride in our town, and with the growing community, the one-room house just wasn't enough room anymore. The Home and School Association could not have donated all of these wonderful school supplies if it weren't for all of you, Laurel Springs families. We've been able to provide flags for all of the rooms and a brand new piano for the teachers to use during music lessons.
It's so much bigger than the old school.
Not only is it larger, but it's so close to home, Daniel. I'll be able to walk to school with you each day.
Before we begin our school tour, I would like you all to meet the new teacher and principal, Mrs. Brown.
Thank you, Mrs. Watkins. I am happy to be here and part of such a wonderful celebration.
Many people have worked hard over the last several years designing and building this wonderful space for our children to learn. I am happy to be in a classroom with the students as well as acting principal. Are there any questions before we get started?
Yes, hello. When will the children begin school?
They will begin next Monday, promptly at 8:30.
Excuse me.
Yes, Mrs. Sparks?
Will the children be staying for lunch?
No, but perhaps in the future. For now, they will be walking home at 11:45 and be due back at school at 1 p.m.
I have a question.
Yes, Mrs. Sparks?
I know there has been talk of school uniforms. Will the children be wearing them?
No, but there is a dress code, and these guidelines will be sent home on the first day of school. Are there any other questions? Wonderful, then let's begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2 you've all been waiting for, Mr. Parker, Mrs. Watkins, Mrs. Brown, I give you Laurel Springs School.
I don't see any cars, and the roads are made of dirt. This is downtown Laurel Springs in the early 1900s. Over there is the grocery store and the famous Laurel Theater. People came from far away just to see a movie.
I wish the movie theater was still in town today.
Yes, it burned down some years ago. Just like life, things change over time. Let's see what they're doing in town today.
Laurel Springs, the place to jump. Come in, Yorkies, grab a pop. Laurel
Come along now, girls.
Where are we headed to today, Mother?
To Yorkie's grocery in town, darlings. Mr. Yorkie has some items for me to fetch.
I love going to Mr. Yorkie's store. He has the best penny candy.
You're so silly, Sarah. It's just a store.
Now, let's sit for a moment. Did you know Mr. Yorkie operated the first P.O. box office in town before opening the general store?
Wow, he owned the post office too?
That's right. And after the general store opened, he housed the first Bell telephone exchange. Imagine that, talking to people through a wire.
When will we get a phone, Mom? I want to talk to people through a wire, too.
Don't be silly now. Why do we need a phone when we have Mr. Yorkie's? Now, where in the world is your brother? I thought he'd be waiting for us in town.
He went to fetch Mr. Parker's horse at the blacksmith. He said he'd be meeting us at the movie theater, though.
Oh my, the time is getting away from us. We might have to stop at Mr. Yorkie's after the movie if we're going to catch it in time.
There he is, Mama! There's Billy!
Hi, Mother. That was easy as pie. Mr. Parker gave me a whole nickel just to fetch his horse. Now we can go to the movie theater and get some popcorn.
That's splendid, Billy. Now let's run along to the theater.
Golly gee, look at Dr. Cook's automobile.
That sure is a beauty.
I've never seen one of those before.
Well, it is only the very first one to come to town. But come along now if we're going to make the movie in time.
May I help you?
Hello. Yes, you can. May I have 4 tickets to the show, please?
Sure thing, ma'am. That'll be 16 cents.
Here you go.
Thank you. You may now make your way into the theater. The show is just about to begin.
We sure will.
Come along now, children.
Oh no, my popcorn. Thank you.
That place looks familiar.
Well, in the 1920s and the 1930s, Laurel Springs was lucky enough to have a firehouse on both sides of the railroad tracks. This all changed in the late 1930s when a depression took a toll on the town. Both counties merged in 1938, and a new firehouse was built on Tomlinson Avenue. Not long after World War II, the Junior Firefighter Department was reactivated. This is them now.
Laurel Springs, a great place where junior firefighters keep you safe. Where's the fire? Hi, Fran. Is the crew back from testing the pumps? I love it.
Yeah, they're pulling the pump trucks in the driveway now.
Did you hear about what happened to Ken Walters over in Germany?
No, what happened?
Nearly got his leg blown off in combat. Luckily, Dad said he'll be alright.
That sure is good. We're sure going to need him back at the firehouse after the war ends. Good things like Walter are the reason we were able to merge the 2 stations.
Yeah, the 20s and the 30s are hard on the conscience, especially our little town. Everything go well at the lake?
Well, Burger here fell dead smack in the lake, boots and all.
Can you believe it? Sam here turned the pump on while Burger was still straddling the hose.
He went flying in the air, head first in the lake.
Well, remember, we're just junior firefighters. I didn't have a whole lot of training in testing pumpers. Well, I think you just got the best kind of training, Burger.
I got a letter from Benson yesterday.
Oh, yeah? What'd he say?
He's been working on getting us a new pump truck.
A new pump truck? Isn't he fighting a war? How does he have time for that?
Didn't say. Just says there's going to be a surplus after this war ends.
You know, Benson, he's always looking for a deal.
A new pump truck? We could sure use that.
What's having excitement, Henry? There's a fire over at Stafford Farm. One of the farms are on fire. Sounding on, Becky.
Let's sit up, guys.
When I'm called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me the strength to save some lives, whatever be it saved.
What in the world are they doing?
Much past my time, this was a tradition in Laurel Springs for many years. Items from all over the place, many from neighboring porches, were placed in front of the bank on Stone Road.
Oh my, I'd like to watch this.
fall. I hope my mom doesn't miss this.
Come on, we gotta work faster. I'm tired. Can't we just take a little break?
Just a few more minutes. My curfew's at 9 o'clock, and if I'm late, I'm grounded.
You have to admit, this is a great tradition. I mean, how many towns let you pile things in front of the neighborhood bank?
Yeah, well, my parents hate it. Every year they have to clean off the front porch or it's gone the next morning.
Yeah, remember last year when somebody brought that Volkswagen buggy?
Yeah, that was the best. I laughed so hard the next morning.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Selly, the bank manager, he was sure mad.
Oh, we have company.
Good evening, officers.
Looks like you guys are having some fun. What you got here?
Just some tables and chairs. Not much, officers.
Well, if you want to do better than last year, you better get to work.
We can sure do that.
I think I saw 2 tires sitting on Mr. Brown's porch. You might want to go check that out.
Two tires sit nicely on top of that table over there.
All right, break's over. Let's head over to Mr. Brown's porch. Come on, guys, let's go. Wow, Mr. Whitman, I never knew Laurel Springs had so much history.
It certainly did. Behind every great town, you might find an interesting beginning.
Well, this will sure make a great school play. I can't wait to share what I've learned.
Wonderful, Hannah. Take what you have learned with me and share the history of which makes Laurel Springs what it is today. I know you can do it.
What? Where are we now, Mr. Whitman?
Mr. Whitman, where have you been, Hannah? That must have been a nice dream.
Dream. Oh, yeah. I guess that was a dream. Okay, boys and girls, what do we think? Would you like to do a school play? A play would be great. Our town has so much history. Wow. Hannah's really excited. Excited? I sure am. Well, there's the railroad, Crystal Lake, and Samuel Court. Boy, Hannah's like the walking Laurel Springs historian. And we can't forget Walt Whitman. He loved our town.
I'd be a great Walt Whitman.
I don't think so, Chris. Now, boys and girls, settle down. I guess the play will be. I will see if Mr. Zimmerman can come in next week. We will start researching Laurel Springs history then. Can I start? I'm overflowing with ideas.
Wasn't it spectacular? Yeah. It was just beyond, I didn't peek while they were doing it all. It was like just mesmerizing. You can't, it was great. You guys did a wonderful job. We're very proud of you. Mrs. Mull, Mrs. Straw. Leah. I just know her as Leah. Yeah.
I'm in the school a lot during the week, and you have no idea how many times Mrs. Garvey was, oh my gosh, Mrs. Garvey put her heart and soul into this play. She woke up in the middle of the night thinking of things, and she is an amazing person. A couple of years ago, when we lost our music program and our art program and gym and everything else, Miss Westerby, I was kind of complaining a little bit in the office, and she says, you know, sometimes things have to blow up, and sometimes they settle down. This is what blew up, and I think it's 100 times better than what we had before. So I want to thank Mrs. Garvey. The kids have something for you. There is a lot of talent in this school. There's a lot of teachers that come together, and each one of them has their own talent. We're lucky enough to have Mrs. Lorenzi as an aide, and also her mother is kind of a pseudo whatever we need her to be. So we have something for you if you could both come up. And also the kids wanted to thank Rich Zimmerman for all their help, for all his help, his knowledge, his input. I told a couple people that I really wish that I had a thumb drive that I could put in his ear and just download everything he knows about this town, because it's unbelievable. So if he could come up, if he's still here, I don't know if he bowed out or not. Come on over here. He's shy. He doesn't want to come to the front.
And he's also the school photographer.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point in time, we're going to have a second showing at 7:15. Meanwhile, you are welcome to travel the building, look at all the nooks and crannies because we clean it. So, by all means, check it all out. Your 6th graders will be located in the library, and the second showing is at 7:15.